Good evening to all of you. How are you all? This is your host Debottam, and you are listening to yet another episode of Better You, Better Life, a self improvement plan SIP podcast, season 1, episode 17. My dear friends and all the elders out there, today I'm going to share my experience of podcasting after recording 16 episodes in this first season. I will share what I have learned in all these weeks, and also I will share what are the challenges I felt that I need to improve upon. First of all, my sincere gratitude and thanks genuinely from my heart for all of you listeners who have listened and given valuable feedback to my podcast. This podcast was started with no major objective. Basically, I wanted to improve my communication skills, and that is the reason I thought that if I could speak in some kind of platform which will give me some kind of self confidence, then it will improve my communication skill because I was literally struggling. You can trust me on this that I was literally struggling to put my things boldly. I was lacking self confidence, and whenever I go to any public place, I literally keep quiet. I don't mingle with people too much or strike up a conversation with a stranger. But with this podcasting, it helped me in restoring my self confidence within myself. Some of the benefits that let me share with you people. I think the best part is about podcasting is that people are not watching you. So you do not have the risk of being noticed, of getting noticed. So all you have to do is to speak up, speak up confidently and put up your ideas. Listeners, you might not get enough views or enough responses, but it's fine. You are doing it for yourself. You are doing it for your own improvement. In my case, I'm doing this for my own self improvement. And when you are convinced that you are improving yourself with your action, and that message automatically goes to other people, and you never know, you might inspire someone. There can be few individuals who also might be in similar kind of situation, and it might inspire him to come up with his own podcast. The beauty about podcast is that it has helped me in my thinking ability also, because I made a rule that I will release an episode every week in some different topic which matters to me in my daily life. The genre of this podcast is self improvement, so I have decided to focus on the issues that I encounter in everyday life, which every common people faces every day, still struggling and still moving ahead. So why not discussing on those common issues? Now I'm also very much certain that you might find similar podcast in the platform, in different platforms, and they will be saying the same thing. But it's fine. It's just that I have tried to create another option. So if there are 9 options, there is no harm in having 10 options, right? So if it is helping you and if it is helping me in creating another option, then why not? So it has also helped me in keeping me thinking. So as I said that our mind is so restless that you keep doing n number of things without thinking the outcome. But honestly speaking, guys, with this podcasting journey, I could think in a more settled way. So I forced myself that I have to release an episode every week, for which I have to do some kind of research which has to be connected with my everyday life. Then only I will be able to connect other people. It's not about saying something therapeutic, or it's not about something expressing so that other people will get benefit, or I'm also not claiming that I'm a kind of an expert. It is just that I'm sharing my experience as stories, and other million peoples who are listening or who will be listening, they also have their similar stories. So it is very important that you start expressing. Unless you express, you will never know what you are good at or how people will react to it. At least if you're not getting enough listeners, means you need to make some change, either in your approach, in your style, in your content. So the another benefit which I have got is I could write upon things. I have started writing out, like I have to develop a script for certain uh, sensitive issues. Like recently, I did one episode, I think 3 4 weeks back, on how to come out of your comfort zone. Now, I didn't write those ideas from any book or any kind of any other platform. First of all, I try to put myself in the shoes of a troubled person, then how I have experienced myself to make myself come out of comfort zone. And then I have written down points. And then I try to research online the references from where I could pick up anecdotes which will help me in validating my points. And that's how that research skills have improved, that writing has been improving. Now I'm able to speak in front of you, and if I'm lucky enough, you will listen to me if you find any value. And not only from India, but from outside India also, I'm getting listeners. So it's a very encouraging thing for me. And also, I have noticed that podcasting is a very good skill, because it is an emerging market, globally speaking. And you can create your own platform, you can create your own enterprise or company through podcasting. I have seen people grow from nothing to many levels high only through podcasting. Well, the category of podcasting which I chose was mono podcasting, where I will be speaking about some ideas, and I will be sharing those ideas coupled with my daily life experiences. And that's how you develop expertise, right? You may not be accepted now, but after 4 or 5 years, people might start listening to you. So all these podcasting things, I'm doing it absolutely for myself. And if I include ideas like what other will think about me, what if I receive criticism, or what if I am not accepted well in the podcasting community, then you will tired. And when you will tired, you will lose that zeal, that enthusiasm to work further, and eventually you will stop giving up. So I'm not giving up so easily. I will keep recording my ideas, and I will keep podcasting with all of your support. So listing out, and yeah, another two things that has happened with me. I try to list out, means at the end of any discussion, what often what happens, the listeners gets overwhelmed, at the same time the speaker gets overwhelmed speaking so many things in such a short duration of time, and you may not have that energy or that zeal to go back and listen to what I have spoken or what the speaker is speaking. In that case, I list out, I summarize the content, so that those pointers remain in your conscious next time when you listen to it. Another thing is that creating content has become so easy. It just needs some basic skills and anybody can start this. So I strongly encourage all of you to recognize or to identify your purpose, and why don't you also join the wagon of podcasting. I know there are lots of flaws in my technicality, in my speaking ability, but when I compare myself from episode 1 to till episode 16, I see some improvement, and that is a very good message for me. And that's a good message for many of these potential podcasters who are listening to me right now. At the same time, I want also to share that what are the experience or the scope of improvement in certain things. For example, like I talk in a very subtle way, so it makes the listener very difficult identify the mood of the listener. Voice modulation part that I'm working on. So closing your eyes, you should be able to imagine that whether the speaker is in happy mood or what he's trying to say, because mood depends a lot while expressing your ideas. You can't be so loud while talking about a sensitive topic. At the same time, you need to stress upon certain words or upon certain portions in your script to stress out attention of your listener. Secondly, learning more technical skills. I have to make my recording quality even better. So I'm working to improve upon that. I'm trying different media, different gadgets to ensure that because recording gadgets are quite expensive in the market, so I'm trying to get try out different platforms and different scenarios in my room so that I can record with ease, and it should not have certain technical glitch while listening. I'm also trying to work out on how to reduce that background noise while I speak, while I record my episode. So, voice modulation and then technicality. Third thing is that I'm trying to broaden my horizon of thinking, ideas. Different ideas comes to my mind, and it becomes very difficult to speak all of them at once. So I have restricted myself focusing on a single idea at a time and research about it. And I will not speak anything which doesn't relate to me, because if I'm not convinced myself, then how can I convince other people to listen to me? So these were some of the challenges I'm facing, and I'm trying to improve upon it. I sincerely request all of you to please encourage me and listen to my podcast and give suggestions and feedback. I'm trying to create that base where I will be able to express my ideas in a more meaningful way. In that way, I can improve myself, my skills at the same time. Just remember that you are not doing it for others, you are doing it for yourself. And once you are convinced, then only you can convince others. And lastly, with this self-improvement genre, the better you better life was not taken for any catch any fancy phrase. Better, it's like how you can make yourself better every day with constant practice and constant learning. That's what we are doing, right? So every action we do, every idea we think, whatever objects we see, all are there to work upon ourselves. And every day if we work upon ourselves, then it will like a compound interest. That efforts will keep compounding and it will give you result after a long time. So it's a journey which you have to embrace, and that's why I named this podcast as Better You Better Life, a self improvement plan. So it's a plan, it's a journey. So you have to part of this journey where results may not come overnight, but in the long run victory will be yours because you will improve and you will see this by yourself. You need not to ask anybody's feedback. That's it from this episode. I hope I could add some value to you in this episode. I will come up with a better concept in our next episode. Till then, I wish you all the best in your endeavors and thank you for listening. This is Debottam, your host, signing off.